return of the undefeated Sean O'Malley. We're certainly happy to have him here. How's it feel to be back on Fight Week?
Feels fucking good.
You know, it absolutely drives people mad when you refer to yourself as undefeated. I mean, it just literally makes people go crazy. Is that part of the fun in saying that, and part of the reason you like to keep throwing it out there?
I've been asked this question so many times, but it's that, you know, they ask me how I feel, whatever. I say I feel undefeated. I don't feel like I was beat because my skill set wasn't as good as his. You know, it was a freak accident. How many leg kicks have been thrown since that kick to now, and how many times has that happened? You know, so you can't. If he would have said I'm gonna go in there and kick his nerve, and that happened, I'd be like, damn, this motherfucker's good. And he is good. Cheeto's good opponent. But I think the way that fight ended, and watching the fight before that happened, I was in control of that fight. I was doing what I wanted. You know, he didn't take me down and elbow me. My leg completely gave out. I rolled my ankle 4 or 5 times, and I was still piecing him up on the feet. I backed him down, had him covered up, and I went to step back, and my ankle gave out. So, you know, if he would have beat me in a decision or just beat me in any other way than me getting injured, I would say I'm 12-1, no issue. I don't have a problem with losing. I lose in the gym all the time. You know, get up, slap hands, compete again. I don't mind losing. You know, one of these days I'm going to lose a fight, hopefully not in that kind of fashion, and it's going to be like, yeah, he beat me. I have no issue losing. You know, I think the whole 12-1, undefeated, mentally undefeated thing has gotten a little crazy, but I do kind of enjoy when people get mad at it now, but also it's just I just answer the questions you guys ask.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, do you think people are being a little unfair? I mean, I think about this game, so much of it is self-belief and mental confidence. You know, if that's the mindset you have to have going in there, that's the mindset you have to have, right? I mean, do you think people are kind of unfairly jumping at you when you do answer that question?
Yeah, I don't think it's the mindset I have to have. Like I said, if he would have beat me if he would have beat me any other way, and I'm 12-1 going into this fight against Thomas, I would sit here and say, yeah, I'm 12-1 coming off a loss, and it doesn't really change my mindset. I'm prepared very well to go in there against Thomas and beat his ass. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm 12-1 or 12-0. It doesn't matter what happened last fight. It matters what happened in this training camp. This last 8 weeks, I prepared, I'm healthy, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Last thing I want to ask you about Cheeto is that this thing has gone on, talked about for so long. I know at some point you said, I don't really need to fight him again, but the way this thing has continued on, do you feel like this is a rematch that has to happen? Like, I think people just want to see it.
I know he said there's not enough money in the world to fight me. You know, that just sounds stupid. Like, it's not like that dude's loaded. You know, offer him $100,000 or $500,000 fight, he's gonna say no. I mean, that would be. Are you scared? I don't know. But will it happen? I don't know. The division's on fire right now. I'm gonna be coming off a win. He's gonna be coming off a loss. I don't care who. So, you know, I'm gonna be champ. And if he climbs his way up, I think that rematch will be there. But other than that, it doesn't even matter. I'm focused on Thomas.
Yeah, like you said, it matters what's happening here. Thomas Almeida, they gave you that name. A guy that not that long ago people were saying, hey, man, title challenger, you know, and he's had some setbacks. What did you think when you got the name? Did it excite you, or were you thinking, you know, I'd like somebody a little higher up?
No, I was excited about that fight. He's a good kickboxer. His last 3 fights, he's lost to good people, like really good guys. So it's, you know, I think he's a legitimate opponent. I think looking at it from that perspective, saying, he's coming off 3 losses, like, you know, he's still a dangerous opponent, and he's coming off 3 losses, which might make him more dangerous. You know, this could be, you know, he might go to Bellator after this or go somewhere else. I might send him on his way out. So he's going to be coming ready to go. So, no, this is a good fight, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. First training camp for you as a dad, did that change anything, whether it be just, you know, your daily routine, obviously, or, you know, mentally, you know, the psychological changes that come along with fatherhood?
I slept in the other room a couple times, like 2 or 3 nights. That's about it. Other than that, nothing really. Danny, she was pretty much been a stay-at-home mom, works a couple days a week, so she's been, you know, when I go train, it's been good. It hasn't been worse or better. It's been good. Waking up every morning to her, you know, waking up to a baby. She's trying to suck on her big toe like it's her thumb. It's just, you know, you're in a good mood the instant you wake up. So it's been good in that aspect. As far as training, it hasn't been like an issue. I had a great camp. You know, I have a cage at my house now in my garage, so it's nice to be able to train there, train at the lab where I get really good training, train at Tim's gym, Tanquino's gym. You know, nothing changed in the aspect of having a baby.
Nice. Last thing for me, and I mean, obviously you want to go out there and you want to win, but I'm just curious kind of what your goal is here because, when you came into the sport, you had so much attention right away. And after this last one, man, I feel like people have turned on you a little bit. You've had to deal with some hate, which I don't think you're used to. So, I mean, do you want to go out there and, silence these people and shut all these people up, or do you even focus on things like that?
Yeah, I definitely have gotten a lot of hate. I still get so much, every time I go live on Twitch, there's clown emotes, people call me a clown and stuff. So yeah, I wasn't really used to dealing with too much hate. But I also know the people that are doing that, they're probably dealing with some stuff mentally. There's not anybody that's doing real good in life that's coming on there saying talking shit. So it hasn't really affected me too much. But it would be nice to go out there and prove the stupid people that they are stupid. That I think people that are intelligent and understand skills look at me and see what I've done and go, he's legitimate. He's got legit skills. And then there's some people that think, that the last couple fights may have been lucky against Eddie, Jose. Not lucky, but just, that happens. But, I think I'm a high-level striker, high-level MMA fighter, and I get to go prove that. So,
Sean, how much of the undefeated thing you've been saying is that you genuinely believe it, which I believe you do, and how much of it was steering into it knowing how much it was annoying people?
No, people are always like, be yourself. So I was just being myself. How do I feel? 12-0, I didn't feel, so it was like just being myself. And yeah, I didn't think it was going to get as much attention as it got. But
what was it like when you did, I think you did the podcast maybe the day after, a couple of days after. What was it like seeing the vitriol and reaction to that? Because even from an outsider looking at it, it was pretty impressive amounts.
Yeah, I got, as far as the hate or
yeah.
What? Yeah. Like I said, I still get messages and stuff. So, but I think no matter what, I go out there and knock out Thomas, I'm still gonna get hate for the rest of my career. There's going to be haters. Usually that means you're doing something right. So I think we're on a good track.
Do you think fighters and opponents are going to look at that fight and think, well, I just have to go out there and kick him in the leg, and that's the end of him?
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe stupid people. I don't know. I think Thomas is going to definitely come out and try to kick my legs. I think that's kind of probably going to be part of his game. But I think it's going to matter how do I look this fight. He's going to kind of determine what other people's game plan is going to be. Do
you have a plan for checking that? Do you feel in yourself that there's a vulnerability there, or do you think that was literally just a freak accident that'll never happen again?
I had 14 amateur fights. I've had now 13 pro. I've had a lot of fights. I act like I've never been kicked in the leg before. I don't know how to check a kick. You either check a kick, stuff a kick, or get out of the way of a kick. I was getting out of the way, and his Ecuadorian big toe fucking hit my nerve. I watched it so many times in slow motion, and I remember him saying after the fight, "Oh, I have the tough shins," and I was a calf kick. It wasn't a calf kick. His toe literally hit my nerve. And if it happens again, it'll be fucking crazy. If that happens again ever in my career, that's gonna be crazy. So yeah, I think it was. I don't remember what you asked. Sorry.
All right. Last thing for me. Obviously, you don't think about losing, but any temptation next time, if that happens, you can still say 12-2 undefeated.
If it happens again, maybe. Yeah, that's a good question. If Thomas comes out and kicks me in the nerve, and it ends like that, maybe I'll have to rethink my undefeated statement. But maybe I'll be 12-1 after that. No, I don't know. I don't see that happening again. How many times has it happened since my fight? None. How many times did it happen? It happened to Jamie Varner. It happened to Michael Chandler when he fought Brent Primus. And I think it happened to Henry when he fought Demetrius a little bit. But his came back. I was too busy trying to, take Cheeto's head off to let it come back. But, yeah, it doesn't happen very often. If it happens again, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to be done fighting.
Thanks, man.
Sean, one last thing on leg kicks. We've also saw Conor McGregor kind of succumb to leg kicks in January, and the narrative after that, a lot of fighters were saying it's very difficult to even train leg kicks because you don't want to just start eating leg kicks before a fight. Is that true? Is it that difficult to train leg kicks ahead of a fight?
That calf kick's a motherfucker. I've been kicked in the calf 5 years ago by John Moraga, Yatsin, Meza. The calf kick's been. I've known about it for a long time. Yeah, there's different ways. Like I said, you could. I mean, there is a way to check it. You could stuff it and counter with a 2-1-2, whatever. Pull out completely and not even be in the way of the kick, which is what I was doing with Cheeto. and that fucking toe got me. So yeah, I think there's ways to defend it, but.
And then speaking specifically of this upcoming fight against Thomas, was there a fight that you remember he really got on your radar? I know a lot of people point to the UFC 189, the flying knee knockout against Brad Pickett, but there was at one point people had circled him as a possible champion down the line.
Yeah, I don't remember what fight I saw, but I don't even know if I wasn't in the UFC yet. It was pre-UFC, and I remember seeing him. I'm like, damn, that kid's fun to watch, and I was a fan. So I mean, he's kind of the first guy I'm fighting that I was a fan of before. I wasn't like a huge fan. I wasn't like, oh my god, I have to follow him and watch every fight. But I watched him. I was like, he's got a sweet style. Like I really like his style. And now I have to go and beat him up. So it's pretty cool.
You mentioned he has the high-level kickboxing. He's obviously brings a high-level Muay Thai in there, but he's also a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Have you seen anything in his grappling at all to show that he is high-level there?
I don't remember seeing him grapple much. I don't remember seeing him grapple much, but I'm confident in the grappling aspect.
And finally, what do you make of the state of the division right now? There was that weird disqualification that happened a few weeks ago. We got a lot of main events coming up. So what's your thought on the top of the 135 division?
Yeah, the bantamweight, hands down, right now, is the best division in the UFC, which is pretty fucking sweet. We got Corey versus TJ coming back. How is TJ going to look without EPO? We'll see. How is Rob Font versus Cody? I mean, there's just so many sweet fights. Aljo versus Peter's got to happen again. My buddy Kyler Phillips just beat Song. That's sweet. There's just so much sweetness going on in the division right now, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I don't feel like I'm a part of it yet. I got to get another win in there in a spectacular fashion to put myself back in the mix.
Here's Sean over here.
Yep.
Are you changing anything in the way you're doing your ankle wraps for this fight?
Last time I think I don't like sitting up here and saying, oh, excuses, but I do in the back. It was tight. My ankle wraps were tight. I had my coach, Brandon, trying to loosen it up a little bit. So I don't know if that nerve would have came back and I would have been able to have control of my foot, or if I had rolled it too many times anyway and it was just fucked. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap my ankles again. And just maybe not as tight.
Thank you.
Sean, how long after the fight did it kind of take you to feel normal in the leg again? Was it a lingering thing, or was it pretty quick?
No, it was definitely lingering. I rolled it pretty bad. Like rewatching the fight, it was like, ooh, it was hard for me to even watch it. I rolled it 4 or 5 times, real good. And they say the more you roll I've been playing basketball, football, baseball, soccer since I was 4 years old. I've rolled my ankles a bunch, and they say the more you roll your ankle, the more susceptible it is to roll it again. So, it's part of the fucking game. We're in there fighting pretty much naked, shin on shin, and just we're going at it. So, yeah.
And then you, when you came back after the layoff, like you were in there 3 times in a row real quickly, was it nice to take a step back again? And I know you had a lot going on in your life too, so there's things to do, but was it nice to not be in there 3 times in a row real quickly?
Yeah, I knew Elena was going to be born shortly after. So the first fight against Jose Quinones was a 2-year layoff, and I was excited to get back in there. I was just itching to get in there, and that was Danny's first trimester. And then we fought Eddie in her second trimester. Then we fought Cheeto in her third trimester, and then the baby was born shortly after. And it was good to take some time off. Definitely, it was my competitive itch. I was messaging the UFC. I'm like, hey, I'm ready. But luckily, I think it's probably good. Because I think nerves take a little while to heal. I always felt fine, but I don't know what kind of damage it actually did. But I think they offered me Thomas in February, and I was like, hell yeah. And then they didn't message me for a little bit. I'm like, I messaged him back, say, what's up, what's going on? And he said, Thomas needs a little extra time. He's a little scared of you. No, they didn't say that. But they said he needed some more time, something with training. I was like, I get it. So it ended up being now, which is, I feel like, right, it's been perfect timing.
Hey, Sean, right here. I was just wondering what you thought about the whole, the Aljamain Sterling Peter Yan finish, and the foul, and then the next week there was the Muhammad eye poke. Like, I mean, is there an issue you think with referees implementing the foul rules and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the Peter Aljo fight, that was a sweet fight. Aljo came out. I think the rematch could be interesting because Aljo's not gonna come out like that. he knows now he can't go and take Peter down with ease and beat his ass. Like, that's probably kind of what he thought was going to happen, and it's not what happened. So I think, going to do a rematch, it's going to be a lot different fight. He's going to probably try to pace himself a little more because, that fight was only in the 4th round. Peter still looked, pretty fresh, and Aljo looked, gassed. So it's going to be a good fight. Both those dudes are studs. Peter's style is sweet. It's fun to watch his little Russian self walking around, hands up, throwing bombs, switching stances. The dude's high level. So I think me and Peter are going to have a sweet fight someday. I think that's a very interesting matchup. But yeah, that was a good scrap. As far as the reffing goes, and I think the refs are doing a good job. I don't know. The gloves are obviously an issue. I think that could be fixed. It's pretty simple, probably with a new pair of gloves that, like Trevor Whitman, I guess. I haven't seen them, but I've heard Rogan just go on rants about how much better they are than the UFC gloves we have now. But I think refs are doing good, and then fighting, shit's going to happen no matter what, so.
Last thing from me, what's your prediction for Ben Askren versus Jake Paul?
Whoo! What is that, April 17th? I want to be there. Do they have fans? Are they having a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I think so, right?
No?
No fans?
They're only allowing 100 people. They're like,
Fuck.
I saw a press release the other day.
I mean, I think Sean O'Malley can.
Maybe if I get a win. If I lose, they'll be like, nah. That's the crazy thing about this sport. I knock out Eddie. I'm getting messages from blue check mark, blue check mark, blue check mark. I lose to Cheeto, just ghosted. No one gives a fuck about me. But that's okay. I know how I don't let those people like get me excited that they message me or whatever. So, yeah. But if I get a win, they'll probably let me in. If I lose, they'll be like, "Who are you?" So we'll see. But I would like to go. I want to go to that. Jake versus Ben. Who do I got? There's not a lot of fights that excite me. And this ain't going to be the best boxing fight. Like, this ain't going to be, like, a good technical boxing fight. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that fight. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be excited fight week. I'm going to watch if they have any little embeddeds or any acts. Like, whatever they're putting out, I'm watching. I want to see that fight. I don't know. Ben versus Jake. It's exciting. It's going to be a sloppy fight. Ben's going to make it sloppy, which is good for him. Jake's gonna, he's got to be. He looks like he's training hard. He's young. He's athletic. So if he doesn't beat Ben Askren, we'll see where he goes from there. He has to beat Ben. He has to beat Ben to show he's a legitimate boxer.
Gun to your head, who do you pick?
I don't know. I think, God, I want to say Jake because he's gonna be a better boxer, but Ben's such a good competitor. It's not gonna be a good boxing fight. It's gonna be a grueling. God, I hope Jake doesn't come in there and try to put his lights out in the first round, 2 rounds. He's gonna gas out, and Ben's gonna be there. Ben's gonna be there all 8 rounds. I don't think Ben's gonna gas. I think if Jake comes out calm, stays calm fight week, stays calm fight day, doesn't get too excited, just blow his load in the first couple rounds, I think he can outbox him if he stays behind his jab and doesn't let Ben do what Ben wants to do. I think Jake could get the job done.
Thanks, Sean.
Yep. Thank you, guys. That was fucking awesome having you guys actually in person. It was way better than seeing you guys over Zoom. Thank you, guys.